If there was a game that I really, really love and I really wanted to improve, this is probably the game. So, hello everyone, Lightful here, and I'm gonna be talking about something I like to dabble into. It's not my forte that I would have this kind of discussion before, but this is kind of the discussion I had in the back of my mind for a while, and it's starting to like uh get me in the vibe where, okay, I think we need to start talking about this. So as you know, I've been someone who started playing Genshin Impact as of 2021, probably when Kokomi came out, and Kokomi was my first 5-star. So I've learned to start off, I've learned that the characters and the voice actors, especially during the Lantern Rite that's coming up after Silali and Mawika, there's still going to be a lot of voice lines and a lot of English voice actors missing in the English dub. Now, this is not gonna be an issue for those, like, if you guys are like that you like to listen to Japanese dub and such, that's probably no disappointment on you. But for me, so I want you to know that I love listening to the English cast. The English cast is an amazing team. I think they're really great with the English voice acting, and I really love them a lot. So I learned that there is going to be more voice actors missing their lines, and one of them is Zhongli from the leak I've heard, and even Hu Tao. Again, this is just a leak, this is not really confirmed, but it's possible that more of the English voice actors for certain characters, even for the story quest, are going to be without voices in the English cast. And this is going to be a lot more of an iffy kind of feeling for me. The biggest problem I have with Hoyo is the strike has been going on because of, as you know, it's because of the AI, and no one wants to have their voice acting be taken with AI to be used, and this is something that Hoyo has not signed, and this is not just Genshin, this is also in Star Rail. Star Rail has the same issue where when we had a type of scene that happened with a special scene that I really wanted to hear Robin's voice when she was supposed to be talking, her voice was supposed to be heard with Sundays, and that never happened because of the strike, and Robin's English VA was unfortunately muted for that scene. I don't know, I believe that having no English voices is removing the charm of the story for Genshin Impact. And who knows how much more will that impact literally I literally implied. You see what I did there? I don't know how much it's gonna be hurting more of the game. So it's kind of unfortunate, and I hate it that's how it's being dealt with. I don't believe it should continue like that. And hopefully this is probably one of those things I hope they can resolve by 2025, as I don't know, I think this is something that the creators just have to sign and tell, like, you know, finally make the choice to say, like, hey, there's no need to we need to have English voice actors. Let them keep their original voices and not let AI, you know, let them use AI. But I think that's the biggest issue when it comes to that kind of thing. Anyway, I might ramble a little bit from there. So there's another there's a lot of improvements that I would love Genshin and Hoyo if and it's coming from, and it's not coming from just, this is just my opinion. All these things I say are just my opinion. Nothing to bash, nothing to anything. I love giving out my advice of what I think would be better and what could help improve a better and balanced community, I suppose. I know I don't really dabble on Genshin community at all. I only know, and I've only was able to dabble enough to know that the community is not, the Genshin community is not like the best thing in the world, and I don't I let that slip. I always maintain loving the characters, loving the story, and that's what caused me to keep playing the game. But there's this other issue. I think Genshin or Hoyo needs to find ways to finally make a stand and find ways to get the English voices to be used. I guess we could say they need to sign. They need to do something, because I think that's the very first priority. It's pretty much, if they do it, then everyone will be happy. Everyone will finally get to hear the English voice cast again, and yeah, we'll get to see the characters again with their voices. And for free to play people, if you guys are like way behind, maybe you'll be able to listen to them, or I don't know if you're able to listen to them now. That's something I don't know for sure. But I think this is something that needs to be said, because I think that's the very most highly important thing for me. If Lantern Rite's gonna have a lot of no voices in the story, I think it's gonna lose a lot of the charm. I mean, I can't say or complain, because I have played the stories where they don't have no voice lines, and that's fine. I think it's just gonna lose a lot of the, I guess, the charm. As again I say, the charm. I don't think I can stress that enough, because anytime I want to listen to the voice actor. I don't want I understand the strike is like to prevent their voices not to be like used for AI. I just think Hoyo should finally do something about it. And that's really what I really believe in for 2025. Now, another thing I want to point out are, okay, for those who don't know, I normally live streamed a lot of Genshin Impact and with the stories and the events or something. But I haven't had a chance to do that for a while, because I think one of the biggest issues I had was maybe the stories are not as captivating. I can't say that. I can't say to you like, oh, I'm skipping Genshin for Wuthering, or I literally left Genshin for Wuthering. No, I love Genshin. I enjoy Genshin so much, but I just play Genshin on my own time, and on pretty much in my like behind the scenes where I'm not live streaming, I'm playing Genshin. But the problem is you lose the attention with the story, and as well that no voice acting makes the story could be a little boring to many players. I've also heard that they have banned players where they had to use an auto clicker to skip dialogue, and I find that funny, but this is my opinion. I think Hoyo should implement skip dialogue. Reason why this is just my this is like if I were to fix Genshin, for example. If Genshin were to be fixed, I would say, or let's say for starters, I think the 200 should be probably 300 to 280 instead of just regular 200 with resin. Mostly because their world is very big, and because there is so much of how can you say, they have their world so big. There's a lot of things to grind, and I think it really should be to 280. Another thing I would be great to implement is those little, because Wuthering does it, Honkai Star Rail does it. I think they should start doing it. Is a second mechanic, so we can grind more than just relying just on resin. I believe many people might have mentioned this so many times. As someone who wants Genshin to be better, this will be better for grinding for everyone. It's better than relying on just 200 resin, or you have to save your resin because otherwise nothing is gonna go right. I save my resin quite a lot. Every time I'm not using the resin, I'm just hoarding it sometimes, and then I use it all together at once. So I just would go to my Serenity pot, for instance, like this, and I will just go up here. Hello, Tubby. Did I get your fragile resin by any chance? No, I haven't. I would just always get this transient resin and use it, and immediately just use it, and that's it. Oh, yeah. And I just use it like right away. Yeah, and I just save it. I just use it right away. So I have like 3 of the fragile resin from probably the regular battle pass without spending nothing or anything. So yes, I think that would make Genshin probably more fun and captivating for more engaging players who want to play it. Because we can't, unfortunately, we just can't grind enough. We unfortunately can't grind enough. We wish we could, but this is how much we get to grind. And that's the unfortunate. So I know, I know that from what I heard, I know their company's big. I think I understand that they're big. The business just want to make money, and they're being cheap. And being cheap will come at a cost, and coming at that cost is like so far. We just need the English voice cast. That's my opinion. That's to start off pretty much. And I think implementing more of the resin and a little mechanic for more grinding, because I think that will really help out. I think now I know this is highly unlikely because unfortunately the community and the company, mostly the company, not community, but mostly the company, don't really listen or heed what players want. So far they've been doing that kind of slowly, which it was nice that they have the option that we can pick our own 5-star for each year during the anniversary. So that's a good gimmick that they did. so that's great. However, there it's just been not thrilling to see a lot of things when it comes to Genshin's way of the gacha and the rewards. I know rewards are very, very limited when it comes to Genshin, and we probably know why. There's always conspiracies of why they do it. There's always reasons why no one is happy when the rewards are just minimal and they're just not enough. I fear that's what it is. It feels like this may happen again, for example, with Lantern Rite coming about. I remember Lantern Rite was a bit of a bust because mostly the rewards were rather small. And when I mean small, there was not really a lot to give in the to get, or just from primos to everything else. I think there's just so much more that Hoyo could do, like what Honkai Star Rail did. Like Honkai Star Rail had more rewards. It's like the same company, but whoever is in charge or who's ever in the lead, they do it. And eventually, there's this point where you have enough characters that it doesn't make the game exciting. My thoughts, for example, with Natlan. Natlan is so far a really good story. I like the story. It's kind of more, and I guess you can say, not enough to explain where's the big picture in the story. It's a little bit lost because, for one thing, for sure, we still haven't got to know or got to get more lore with the travelers. It so far have been Natlan itself, and it's a bit of a bummer. I rather see more of the story unfold and to keep the audience engaged. So it's not like a bad thing. I have no issues with it. It's just unfortunate that you just can't do anything about it. Like it's like you expect that everything will go swimmingly, but it's not, unfortunately. Another factor I would say is probably permanent mini games that people can go and get rewards with. I feel like whenever they bring like new mini games and the mini games that they have, they don't really like let others or even new players. If you're like a new player, you have missed many amazing mini games, and that's unfortunate. I feel like we should have that, and that way we know what everything is going on. I think it lets everyone know, like, okay, here's the mini games you have missed. You can get rewards for this if you do it, but not as much as if you haven't done it. It's cool to have that record so you can see all the rest of the stuff that they had done, rather than just they mysteriously disappeared and such. This also implements the limited time events that has happened. Every limited time event you miss in Genshin, unfortunately, they are gone. They are gone. You don't see them ever again unless they bring it back and they just bring the world where you can visit in. I noticed that they did that. If you miss a world, they still put the world back so you can go to it, because before that was not how it went on and I think it was the Apelico, the Golden Apple Apelico, probably. I think that was one of them. I don't know for sure. It's been a long time. As a long time Genshin player. Again, I didn't play this game since day one. I got to play it later when I just wanted to know what the fuss was about with this game. This game is endearingly fun. I love it. Unfortunately, there is the marketing trap. The marketing trap is it's trying to bring you to at least spend, and it's bringing a lot of trouble for even the free-to-play players. For instance, this is tragic that they decided to put both characters, and I guess this is not bad for some people if you have saved your primos and you have saved a lot, because this is basically what I did. I was not planning to pull for Moika, I was planning to pull for Silali. I think she's adorable with her animations and what she does. It's amazing. I like it. But it's disappointing when it's just, unfortunately, free-to-play players cannot get what they want, and that's just unfortunate. I wish they could. I wish things could be that different to make the game more enjoyable and to make the game more exciting. And so far, it's been like mixed feelings with Natlan, and I'm not gonna go without those details. I'm not no conspiracy on anything. I just feel like everyone is entitled by their own opinion, and I'm just saying what I think is necessary. Natlan, I think Natlan's story is good. I like it. It's not the best, but it's good. It's not as popular as Fontaine. I think Fontaine's story was well written. I just think that there is so much that could have been implemented, and half of it could have been from how the company is trying to pretty much make a market with the game. I think another thing that should be implemented, now this is coming from me, I don't know if this is something they should do, but if they do it right, then maybe it might be possible, but I know this is highly unlikely. Finding a way to get characters that are fun that you'll enjoy it, like fun that like, okay, this is the character that we have, we'll know what you like. Moika was a great character. I love Moika. I think she is fun. So far, all the characters we had in Natlan, they're fun. There's a problem though. The problem though is that most of those characters have this, like, if you want to fly, you want to glide, it's only temporary, and you can't do anything with them, and that sucks. I feel like we should get like mechanics. And I feel like I'm just implementing like what Wuthering did. Wuthering brought their own type of tools, and they pretty much that's their gimmick. I think they need to find their own gimmick on how to have players have fun in the world, where it's not just region locked. I think region locked things are just it takes away a bit of the fun. And Genshin's world, it's so big. The world's so big. There's so much in this world. It's completely humongous. And who knows how much bigger it's gonna get. And I mean, we're in version 5.3, 5.4 possibly now. 5.3. And this world, this map, this whole entire map is gonna be so big that I don't have time to 100% any of this stuff. World's so big, and there is so much more that they're making, because the world is so big, and that's awesome. But this is where they really need to, hey, we need more stuff. We need to grind more. We need more stuff. 200 resin is something that I'm glad that they kind of increased, but it's not increased enough. It's unfortunately a rough start for Genshin, and knowing that I'm glad they're trying to put more stuff in. I'm glad they're trying to do more. I feel like they just need to, hey, like, put some more effort on the rewards. Put some more effort that, like, you have so many dedicated players. You have to find ways to keep them captivating, keep them wanting to be here. For instance, like, oh no, I got zapped. Poor Sino. I feel like the company needs to control their players. I know they are controlling their players. Unfortunately, they're not controlling community enough on how things need to be said or addressed or anything. It's unfortunate. Like, there are game companies out there that they find a way to control their community. Like, if you did this, we'll take this away. Because you did this and you sabotage it to yourselves, then this is the consequences of your actions. Like, there have been a few companies that have done something like that. And why? Because they try to keep things together of their company. And why? It's mostly because they want to keep the good people in and the angry gamers out. I unfortunately, Genshin community has so many of the angry gamers, and I don't even. And I don't get me started when I had to watch a video of what that was like, because I didn't know what that was like. Now I do. I think the biggest priority is they really need to fix the English cast and do something about this. I think it's weird that they're not going to sign something, and I think English voices are something that needs to stay. Otherwise, we're gonna lose a lot of people. I mean, I'm not gonna be, again, I don't mind if the voices are silent, but the voices do bring life to a character, especially if you heard them before but if they're gonna be important for a story role or anything or an event, I think a lot of the audience likes to hear them talking. And I think that should be saved. And I think Genshin, Hoyo, really has to do something about it. Another factor of this is I kind of quit with the gacha on Genshin. So that doesn't mean like I won't still be gaching, because I can, but I'm just not. I'm doing it with without money, you're able to do that, and I think that's what's going to be happening to a lot of players. No one is not going to pay for the game. Mostly, everyone's just going to play the game at their own pace without the gacha, and that's pretty much how it's going to happen. I think it's because it's coming to the point, once you have gotten your characters and you literally got all your characters, I don't think there's a need to get more, and that's pretty much what has happened with me. This is pretty much what has happened with me with live streams. I want to live stream the stories, but what I hate is the voices are silent. And it takes a lot out of the story, and I hope that's not how it happens in the future, because it's important. I think we just need the English voice actors back. And especially for those, if you want to listen in Japanese, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I just love listening it in English. I love Genshin. I love the game. But the game it's not as exciting. If I were to compare myself to Wuthering Waves, because I love both games. I love them equally. There's only one big difference between between Wuthering Waves, let's say between Wuthering Waves and Genshin, if I had to compare, and I normally don't like to compare both games because I know there's a big war or competition with them, and it's pretty sad because they're both good games. To me, they're both good games. The only problem is the Genshin's company is more about marketing and getting the money. Kuro feels more of like engaging the players, but also giving something back, giving something that you'll enjoy, like a challenge, giving something that would make the game interesting, and loving so that they're listening to players. A lot of people like to listen. I think game devs like to listen to players. If you give them the chance, yeah, there's some companies that like listening to a community's feedback, and I think that's literally what Hoyo needs to do. They do it for a tad moments. I mean, that's fine. I just think it's time for Hoyo to fix on something. Otherwise, there is gonna be a big problem. And it's already happening. There's already a big problem. It just needs to be fixed. Anyways, thanks all for listening. And this is Lightful Wings. Be delightful and stay delightful.